Hi, today we're taking the derivatives of all trigonometric functions. So far, we must know that the derivative of sin x is cosine x and the derivative of cosine x is negative sin x. Okay guys, if you want to learn more how we derive these derivatives, I post a link in the description below. Let's proceed with the derivative of tangent x first. Tangent x is same as sin x over cosine x. So the derivative of tangent x same as the derivative of sin x over cosine x. Using quotient rule, we square the denominator, we have cosine squared x. The numerator part we keep the denominator times the derivative of numerator, and the derivative of sin x is cosine x minus the derivative of the denominator, but the derivative of denominator is negative sin x. So we have plus sin x and we keep the numerator. So the derivative of sin x over cosine x is cos x plus sin x times sin x all over cosine squared x. Numerator part, we have cosine squared x plus sin squared x. Denominator still the same, cosine squared x. But what is cosine squared x plus sin squared x? That's right, that is equal to 1. And we've got 1 over cosine squared x. But 1 over cos squared x is same as secant squared x. So the derivative of tangent x is secant squared x. We proceed to the derivative of cotangent x. Cotangent x same as the derivative of cosine x over sin x. Using the quotient rule again, we square the denominator sin squared x times we keep the denominator sin x times the derivative of cosine x is negative sin x. So first term we have sin x times sin x minus the derivative of the denominator is cosine x and we keep the numerator. Second term we have minus cosine x cosine x. We factor out the negative, we have negative times sin squared x plus cosine x all over sin squared x. And then again, sin squared x plus cosine squared x is nicely equal to 1. So we have negative 1 all over sin squared x. And what is 1 over sin squared x? That is minus cosecant squared x. So the derivative of cotangent x is negative cosecant squared x. Okay, we're done with the tangent and cotangent. We proceed to the derivative of secant x. Secant x is same as 1 over cos x. So the derivative of secant x same as the derivative of 1 over cos x. Making use of the chain rule denotes d over dx is equal to d over du times du over dx. For the derivative of 1 over cos x, we take the u sub u equals cos x. The left hand side is du if we take the derivative, and the derivative of cos x is negative sin x dx. By dividing by dx both sides, we have du over dx equals to negative sin x. By chain rule, the derivative of secant x same as the d over du same as we take the derivative of 1 over u by u sub times du over dx same as negative sin x. The derivative of 1 over u same as the derivative of u to negative 1. We take the negative 1 in the front and we deduct minus 1 to the power. So same as u to negative 2, and that is equal to negative 1 over u square. So we have the derivative of secant x equals to negative 1 over u square times negative sin x. since u equals cosine x, we have negative 1 over cosine squared x times negative sine x. Two negatives become positive, and cosine squared x same as 1 over cos x times cos x, same as 1 over cos x times sin x over cos x, and 1 over cos x same as secant x, and sin x over cos x same as tangent x. Finally, the derivative of secant x is equal to secant x times tangent x, the sectan. So the last but not the least, we take the derivative of cosecant x, and cosecant x is same as 1 over sin x. So derivative of cosecant x same as we take the derivative of 1 over sin x. Again, applying the chain rule, we have d over dx is equal to d over du times d over dx, and taking the u sub, u equals sin x. Take the derivative of u is du equal to the derivative of sin x is cosine x dx. Dividing both sides by dx, we have du over dx equals to cosine x. By chain rule, the derivative of cosecant x is same as the derivative of 1 over u times d over dx, which is cosine x. And the derivative of 1 over u is negative 1 over u square, same as what we did here, times cosine x. Since u is sin x, we have 1 over sin squared x times cosine x, and sin squared x same as sin x times sin x. We have negative 1 over sin x times cosine x over sin x, and 1 over sin x is negative cosecant x, and cosine x over sin x same as cotangent x. Finally, the derivative of cosecant x is negative cosecant x times cotangent x. Oh guys, that's how we take the derivative of all trigonometric functions. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.